What a relief it is. Michigan takes down Ohio State in dominating fashion. And I say dominating fashion because, the total yards may look a little bit close. The time of possession was more for Ohio State than it was for Michigan. How dominating is it how does it feel, Buckeye fans, that in the second half, you could not get Michigan to a third down? You couldn't do it. How did that feel? Except for the kneeling, which doesn't count. Victory formation. Boy, that feels good. And yes, I had my doubts. Because why? They had the streak against us, right? What was it? 8 straight wins. Harbaugh hasn't beaten Ohio State. All the factors were against us, right? Oh, Ohio State just beat Michigan State 49-0 in the first half against Michigan State, a team that beat Michigan. Yeah, thanks to the refs. Which, take a look. The Big Ten officials even reached out to Harbaugh and said, we messed up. So technically, Michigan at this point could possibly be undefeated. Possibly. Can I just say this before I even go on? The environment, what we saw on Saturday, just put the score aside. Snow, hard-nosed football, cold, and the atmosphere was just off the charts. And winning was a little bit better on top of that. But that's Big Ten football. Snow, cold weather, and running the football. 20 straight games obviously played between these two teams, right? Whoever dominated the rushing game always won those games. Every time for 20 straight games. Michigan, once again, dominated the rushing attack. How did it feel, Buckeyes? I was saying this the whole time. And the strategy worked to perfection. Listen, it came down to this. If you're Michigan, have long, sustained drives that end in touchdowns. Long drives. Less opportunities for that offense to get going. And if you're Michigan on defense, make Ohio State, once they beat you over the top, it's game over. You cannot let those receivers get behind you. And what happened? They didn't. Doesn't that feel good, Buckeye fans, to see your receivers actually have to try and run shorter routes and couldn't do anything? Oh, but Stroud threw for over 300 yards, and I'm happy for him. I really am. But he had a good game, just not the one that you all were expecting. You guys were expecting Ohio State to throw hang 100 on them, right? That's what Ryan Day said would happen. You guys were expecting that? Nah. You didn't even get 100 yards rushing. Good luck. We dominated you. And here's why I want to say this too. I'm going to say a lot because all the Buckeye fans that want to try and say what they want to say and be like, you guys talked for 8 years straight. If you're going to dish it, you got to be able to take it. Okay? You have to be able to take it. And you, boy, you fans can't take a loss, can you? We've been dealing with this for 8 years. We went through the pain and suffering. And could this be the start of Michigan taking a run? We don't know. But I just want to say, Michigan fans out there, for everybody, embrace, rejoice, grab your loved ones, whatever you want to do. Enjoy this win. And I will say this, listen. I don't want Michigan to lose sight of what's in front of them, right? What's in front of them is now Iowa, a Big Ten championship game where we can win the Big Ten and get into the playoffs. We don't want to lose sight of that. Michigan's clearly the favorite in that game, right? They're clearly the favorite. And my biggest concern looking ahead to that game is we have such a high. We're feeling so good. We beat Ohio State. And then we just come out and just come out flat. I don't think this group of guys would be like that. Yes, this was an emotion-filled win. For the stupid fans of Ohio State to say it's a fluke. A fluke if it's a missed field goal with 3-point win, whatever it is, then that's a fluke. This was a dominating win. We controlled the game. We ran the ball. We made you work for your points. Not just giving a 4-play drive and ending in a touchdown. We made you go 10, 15 plays to try and score. So deal with it. We had the strategy. Don Brown, and I called for him to be fired after those 2 losses we had to Ohio State. Don Brown's was, hey, I'm a pitcher. I'm going to throw a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Cool. It looks good. But what happens when the hitter starts to hit it? That pitcher had nothing. Mike McDonald had a great defensive game plan. It was such a great plan. Again, make them work for it. Get the pressure with Aiden Hutchinson, who needs to be in New York for the Heisman ceremony. Not should, needs to. He deserves it. And David Ojabo, both those 2 phenomenal pass rushers. Hutchinson probably the top pick. Who knows? If it's the Lions, you probably want to get a quarterback. But man, God, it was just phenomenal to see. And I hope Ohio State fans just take the L. Just be the bigger man. Person, woman, whatever. Just be the bigger person. If you're going to sit there and try and take shots, we won 8 straight, cool! And you got 1 national championship to show for it. I'm glad for y'all. I really am. Good for you. Let us have this. Okay? And if you want to fuel the hate, fine. I have no problem with you having your hate towards us. Okay? But on this day, November 27th, on that day, our hate was on that field against you. And we took you down. And I just hope that sits. I hope that's in I hope it's in your belly, in your gut, or your heart. And I just hope it's in your head for all 300 whatever days that are left, 363, 362, whatever it is, till that game again. Trust me, I'm looking forward to next year. Last thing, good for Harbaugh. Paul Feinbaum or Fine whoever, if you don't want to apologize for trying to say that Jim Harbaugh was incapable of getting the win, even though in 2016 JT Barrett was short and we had the win, if the refs didn't screw us and if your network actually had a camera down the full line of scrimmage to show he was short. So if your network actually got that right, we would have been fine. But this is what we're dealing with now. A coach who was 0-5 got his first win, and just the embrace from the fans. You can see it's off my back. I've done it. I got this. Now get the team refocused to beat Iowa and find a way in the top 4, which if they win, they're in. There's no doubt they'll be in. But man, just the emotion, the excitement, Michigan fans, we needed this. Of all the hate, all the rage that we've had to losing to Ohio State, this was our dominating win to say, we're back.